There is a tree alive right now that was already old when the Roman Empire was just getting started, and I found out about it at 1 a.m., which was a mistake, because now I can't stop thinking about the fact that a tree has seen more of history than every human who has ever lived. Okay, so this started, as most of my problems do, because I couldn't sleep and I made the catastrophic decision to open my phone. Not to text anyone, not to check Instagram, just to look something up real quick. That was 4 hours ago. What I found has permanently rearranged something in my brain. We're going to talk about the oldest trees and animals on Earth. And I promise you, by the end of this, you will feel extremely small in the best and worst way possible simultaneously. Let's start with the trees. Tree number 1. Methuselah. Methuselah is a Great Basin bristlecone pine located somewhere in the White Mountains of California. I say somewhere because the U.S. Forest Service will not tell you exactly where it is. And honestly, good call. Protect it. Put a fence around it. Post a guard. I don't care. That tree has earned its privacy. Methuselah is approximately 4,855 years old. Let me say that again. 4,855 years old. When Methuselah was just a baby sapling, ancient Egyptians were still building the pyramids. The wheel had just been invented. Writing was brand new, and this tree was just out there, like, yeah, I'm good. I'll just sit here. It's been sitting in the same spot for nearly 5,000 years, and it has watched every single human civilization go through its entire dramatic arc, while it just stayed, didn't move, didn't panic, just existed. Meanwhile, I get stressed when my Wi-Fi buffers for 3 seconds. Tree number 2. Pando. Now here's where things get philosophically complicated. Pando is a quaking aspen colony in Utah. On the surface, it looks like a forest. Thousands of individual trees spread across over 100 acres. Except, they're not individual trees. They are all one organism, connected underground by a single massive root system. All of them. One tree, one organism, one life form. Pando is estimated to be between 80,000 and 1 million years old. That's not a typo. I didn't accidentally add zeros. 1 million years old. Pando was alive before modern humans existed. When our ancient ancestors were first figuring out fire, Pando was already ancient, and it's still out there in Utah, just casually being 1 million years old in a state where people are also very into long-term commitments. So maybe that tracks. The thing is, we don't fully know how old Pando is. 1 million is the estimate, but it could be more, which means somewhere in Utah, there's a living thing that might be older than our entire species, and it just looks like a nice nature walk. Tree number 3. Langerneau yew, Wales. There is a yew tree in a churchyard in Wales that is between 4,000 and 5,000 years old. It has been standing in that churchyard so long that it has watched multiple churches get built around it. The tree was there before the church. The tree will likely be there after the church. According to Welsh legend, every Halloween, the tree's spirit announces the names of people in the village who will die that year. And you know what? If I were a tree that had been watching humans come and go for 5,000 years, I'd probably have opinions too. The Langerneau yew doesn't have a fence or a security system. You can literally walk up and touch it. You can touch something that was alive before Julius Caesar. You can stand next to something that has been breathing since the Bronze Age. I'm not okay. Tree number 4. The senator. I want to talk about the senator. The senator was a bald cypress tree in Florida that was approximately 3,500 years old. In 2012, the senator burned down. Not from lightning, not from a wildfire. Someone lit it on fire. On purpose, by accident, inside the hollow center of a 3,500-year-old tree. They were allegedly trying to see better while doing something they should absolutely not have been doing inside an ancient landmark. And I'm not going to get too deep into the details here, but someone managed to destroy a tree that had survived 35 centuries, 2 ice ages, the entire rise and fall of multiple empires, countless hurricanes, and 3.5 millennia of Florida weather, which honestly is its own category of survival. Survived all of that, did not survive one extremely specific bad decision in 2012. The good news, scientists took cuttings from the senator before it died. They cloned it. There are young trees growing right now that are genetic copies of a 3,500-year-old cypress. So technically, the senator lives on, which is a better comeback story than most of us are going to have. Tree number 5. Huon pine, Tasmania. Australia and Tasmania are known for having things that will kill you, but they're also home to the Huon pine, which is one of the slowest growing and longest living trees on Earth. Individual Huon pines can live for 3,000 years, but there are clonal stands similar to Pando, that are believed to be over 10,000 years old. 10,000 years. That means these trees were alive at the end of the last ice age, when glaciers were retreating, when sea levels were rising, when humans were first starting to figure out agriculture, and a pine tree in Tasmania was just standing there, watching it all happen, with the energy of someone who has seen way too much to be surprised by anything. That's the vibe, just completely unbothered. Now, the animals. I thought the trees were bad. The animals are worse. Animal number 1, ocean quahog clam. In 2006, scientists discovered a clam off the coast of Iceland. They named it Ming, after the Chinese dynasty that was in power when it was born. Ming the clam was 507 years old. 507 years old. Ming was born in 1499. Christopher Columbus had just returned from the Americas 4 years earlier. Leonardo da Vinci was still alive, and a clam was already out there, living in the ocean, filtering water, doing clam things, completely unbothered. 507 years of just existing at the bottom of the ocean. Unfortunately, scientists accidentally killed Ming when they opened the shell to count the rings and determine its age. They killed a 507-year-old clam while trying to figure out how old it was. I genuinely don't know how you come back from that professionally, but I respect the scientific contribution. Animal number 2, Greenland shark. The Greenland shark is the oldest known living vertebrate. These sharks can live for over 400 years. The oldest one estimated was approximately 392 years old, with a margin of error that could put it at over 500. Greenland sharks don't reach sexual maturity until they're around 150 years old. 150 years old. I'm over here stressed about a timeline that covers maybe 80 years if everything goes well. A Greenland shark doesn't even become an adult until after the Civil War. They swim extremely slowly, which tracks. If I had 400 years, I wouldn't rush anywhere either. They live in deep, cold water. They are mostly blind due to parasites on their eyes, but they have been recorded eating polar bears that fell into the water. So, old, slow, nearly blind, and still an apex predator. That's not just impressive, that's motivating. Animal number 3, bowhead whale. Bowhead whales can live over 200 years. Scientists know this partly because they've found old harpoon fragments from the 1800s still embedded in living whales. Living whales. Whales that survived a harpoon attack in the 19th century and just kept going. Some of these whales were alive before the telephone was invented, before the light bulb, before the United States had finished being built, and they're still out here in the Arctic, swimming around, being enormous and ancient, and completely unaware of how insane their life expectancy is. The bowhead whale also has the largest mouth of any animal on Earth, and massive amounts of blubber that insulate it in freezing temperatures. It is basically the ultimate long-term survival machine. 200 years. I start getting tired at 3 p.m. Animal number 4, Aldabra giant tortoise. We need to talk about Jonathan. Jonathan is an Aldabra giant tortoise who lives on the island of St. Helena. Jonathan was born around 1832. He is currently the oldest known living land animal. He is older than the telephone, older than electricity being domesticated, older than most countries that currently exist. Jonathan was photographed in 1882, looking pretty much exactly like he does today. He has lived through both world wars. He has outlived every human being he has ever met. He was already old when the Titanic sank. He was already elderly when the Wright brothers flew. Jonathan still eats, walks around, and lives his life on the grounds of Plantation House on St. Helena. He does not know how famous he is. He does not know that humans find him remarkable. He is just out here being a tortoise, doing tortoise things at 192 years old. And honestly, goals. Animal number 5, immortal jellyfish. I saved the most chaotic one for last. Turritopsis dohrnii, the immortal jellyfish. When this jellyfish gets old, or sick, or stressed, it does not die. It reverts back to its juvenile polyp stage and starts its life over. It can do this indefinitely. It is biologically immortal. Scientists do not fully understand this. The jellyfish doesn't care what scientists understand. It's just out there in the ocean, aging in reverse whenever it feels like it, living its best eternal life. If a human could do this, we would have already started a religion about it. Instead, it's a jellyfish the size of a pinky nail, floating around completely unaware that it has solved the thing humans have been obsessed with since the beginning of recorded history. Immortality just casually figured it out. Doesn't even know the part where I started rethinking everything. Here is where I ended up at 4 a.m. There is a tree that has been alive for nearly 1,000,000 years. There is a shark slowly swimming through the ocean right now that was born before the United States was a country. There is a tortoise who has personally witnessed 192 years of human history and has no thoughts about any of it. And there is a jellyfish that has technically defeated death and uses that power to just float around and eat tiny things. And I spent part of my week stressed about whether I replied to an email fast enough. The email, the trees and the sharks and the tortoises did not stress about emails. They also didn't have emails, which might be the secret. The ending realization. I started this whole thing just looking something up real quick, and I ended up sitting here at 4 a.m. realizing that Methuselah the tree was already 2,000 years old before most of the things I consider ancient history even happened. Jonathan the tortoise has been around longer than most modern nations, and a jellyfish is technically immortal and spends that immortality being a jellyfish, which either means life is precious and short and we should make every moment count, or it means the bar is genuinely on the floor and even a clam can outlive the Renaissance. I haven't decided which one yet. I'll figure it out tomorrow or in 500 years if I get a jellyfish situation going. If you just felt personally judged by a tree's life choices, subscribe. We process existential realizations together here, and if you somehow feel fine about all of this, I need to know your secret. Drop it in the comments immediately.